sometimes we'll stop, give information, especially young people is important. We had an incident, what was it, last two patrols ago, where we had just finished giving these kids some information, and we're talking to them, letting them know what it is we do, and then the cops roll up the street and start harassing them, basically during this, right while we're standing there. So then, we have our cameras and we started like filming, and the cops are standing there like, what do I do now? They're kind of stupid because obviously some kind of education is going on here, and they're not used to seeing nothing like that on the street. So they stood there for like 2 minutes, didn't really say anything. They just kind of like stood there and looked around, and then they broke out.
Who is a New York City community fellow working at the Rivera Law Project on the rights of transgender prisoners to be free from violence during incarceration in New York City facilities.
I'm a little nervous, so if I fuck up, just, don't laugh at me too much. So, the Sylvia Rivera Law Project works to guarantee that all people are free to self-determine their gender identity and expression, regardless of income or race, and without facing harassment, discrimination, or violence. SRLP is a collective organization founded on the understanding that gender self-determination is inextricably intertwined with racial, social, and economic justice. Therefore, we seek to increase the political voice and visibility of low-income people of color who are transgender, intersex, or gender non-conforming. SRLP works to improve access to respectful and affirming social, health, and legal services for our communities. We believe that in order to create meaningful political participation and leadership, we must have access to basic means of survival and safety from violence. In the last 3 years, SRLP has provided free legal services to over 600 transgender, intersex, and gender non-conforming people. Our clients are both targeted by and then abused by the criminal justice system. They report that they're falsely arrested at alarming rates, which we know from the Amnesty International report and also from anecdotal data. I mean, we know this because these are our lives. This is how we live, and this is what we experience. Also, they report that they face harassment and violence at the hands of police both during street encounters and while in police custody. This includes gratuitous strip searches, name-calling, sexual violence, and placement in holding cells according to birth gender, not gender identity. Additionally, when trans people are assigned counsels who represent them in criminal court, they often face discrimination at the hands of their counsel. So, we demand meaningful access to our constitutional right to counsel, and that discrimination by our attorneys end immediately. We demand that the placement of transgender women in men's facilities end immediately. We also demand that the profiling of transgender people, especially of transgender women of color, end immediately. However, we also recognize that major policy interventions, both state and federal, are required to prevent the ongoing violence against transgender people within the criminal justice system and at the hands of the police. Specifically, we want meaningful law and policy changes that, one, stop police harassment and violence against our communities, and two, decriminalize prostitution, drug use, and other nonviolent behavior associated with poverty, and which continue to funnel poor people and people of color into the criminal justice system. We invite allies and activists to get involved, so contact us to find out about local projects working to combat state-sanctioned violence against people on the basis of gender identity and expression, and other ways to get involved in combating police brutality. Thank you.
We were escorting two of our students home on that day, and the train stop was the Kingston through stop, Manhattan-bound on the A train. We see two plainclothes officers who had this young black kid handcuffed.
They were banging his face into the gate. It seemed to me there was no reason for them to do this to him. The kid wasn't resisting, provoking a situation. He wasn't being aggressive to them. He was only crying out to them for them to please stop hitting him. I took the camera, started photographing the cops. The cop sees me photographing, his flash is going off, and he confronts me. He's like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" And I let him know clearly, "Look, I'm a legal observer. I have every right to watch you, observe you, document you, photograph you, and you're getting out of line. You have no right to be doing what you're doing. and I'm going to photograph you.
Dennis picked up the phone and called 911. And I hear him, because he's repeating everything that the operator was telling him so he could understand. He was like, and he was explaining like play by play what was happening. The cop was approaching us. He's trying to take the camera. I documented these police officers beating up this kid with a camera. There's a camera in my hand, and I want to make sure that the camera is not lost. So he's explaining all of this to the 911 operator.
I'm explaining to them the existence of this camera. I know that this camera can easily disappear. I had to document it with the operator. It's like there's a camera in my hands. I'm photographing these cops beating on this kid. They're getting aggressive with me. They're demanding the camera, and this is about to disappear, and so am I. This camera has the evidence. I'm hoping that an honest cop somehow, under that pressure, under that many eyes, would take control of the situation and allow that camera to properly be taken into evidence, which was a mistake that I made, but I learned from that. They allow this cop to take the camera, break it onto the floor.
He takes out a can of mace and just starts macing me. And it was the macing was so bad for me because it didn't come out like a spray. It was a thick stream that caught me square, like, and I got maced straight into my eyes. These cops grabbed me by my ankles and by my handcuffs, and they would just pick me up, advance me a little bit, and then just let me drop. They just released their hands, so I would just fall straight to the ground again.
That's when they all took advantage and jumped on me and all grabbed a piece of me, flipped me over. They took punches on me, kicked me, banged me against the floor. Once they had me on the ground, one of them beat me with a walkie-talkie and cracked open my head.
Number. Try to stop you. Give this number to the brothers. We got a program and we watching police every Wednesday.
All right then. I want to be a cameraman. I could be a cameraman. I want to be a cameraman.
I just want to look like boy. I want to get his ass in.
Los televidentes, nos encontramos aquí con otra de las personas partícipes de este evento para esta noche. Ustedes ya pudieron ver el videoclip en el programa y lo tenemos aquí en persona para que nos diga, como quien dice, más cerca a nuestros hogares lo que él estaba haciendo durante esta filmación, cuál es la razón por la cual él está aquí. ¿Tu nombre es?
Dennis Flores.
Dennis Flores, bienvenido a Fruta Extraña Televisión.
Gracias.
Es un placer y un honor tenerte aquí para que nuestra comunidad pues te conozca más cerca, y si puedes decirnos a qué te dedicas, cuál es la razón por la cual tú estuviste hoy aquí.
Bueno, muchas gracias por la oportunidad y para dejarnos, poner nuestra información sobre su audience, nuestras comunidades. Bueno, yo soy parte de un programa que le llamamos Cop Watch, que observamos la policía con cámaras de video para, para el abuso, preventar.
Pero no viene siendo algo así como de candy camera, ¿no? Como
bueno, a veces tenemos que hacerlo así,
pero
grabar la policía, si hay que grabarlos de lejos, pero después si vemos violaciones que la policía le están, dando, nosotros,
acercan el
bueno, nos acercamos, pero con muchas cámaras, no una cámara sola, porque entonces, ya la primera vez que empezamos esto fue una vez a lo loco así con una cámara que vimos a la policía dándole un menor, y porque era más que una cámara y eran los dos gatos ahí, nos tiramos a lo loco a cogerle foto a la policía dándole un menor, y por eso nos dieron pela y nos rajaron la cabeza y rompieron brazos. Y
este tipo de situaciones se han dado donde en Brooklyn, en el Bronx, o
sí,
¿dónde
por
más?
toda la ciudad de Manhattan.
Pero ustedes están ubicados.
Sí, nosotros trabajamos en Brooklyn.
En Brooklyn.
Pero hacemos esto en el Bronx, en Manhattan, en donde se necesita.
Esta que vimos ahorita en el videoclip, ¿de dónde fue?
Eso fue en una estación del tren, también dando patrullas por Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights.
Todas esas áreas.
Sí. Eso que sí, tú sabes, comunidades afroamericanas, latinas.
¿Has sido arrestado alguna vez por...?
Sí, ya unas cuantas veces me he arrestado.
¿Te suena ya familiar?
Sí, me conocen muy bien.
¿De verdad?
Pero que también nunca pudieron convictarme, convict de ningún crimen, porque nosotros no violamos ninguna leyes. Nosotros como ciudadanos podemos grabar a la policía con cámaras. Ellos saben eso ya, ellos conocen la ley más que nosotros y saben cómo, darle la vueltita, pero también nosotros nos educamos de la ley y cómo usar eso y para ese filme, para poder ir para la calle, documentarlos y ponerlos en la corte. También que ya ha habido 2 o 3 veces ya unos casos que nosotros documentamos que, tú sabes, la misma policía tuvo que encontrar la policía culpable con la evidencia que nosotros.
Qué vergüenza para ellos.
O sea, y nos tienen un odio por eso, ¿sabes la verdad? La cámara documenta lo que está pasando.
Hablando como el término, el lenguaje del pueblo, los han encontrado casi siempre con las manos en la masa, ¿no?
Sí, exacto.
Algo así.
Exacto.
Y eso es terrible, porque imagínate, la persona, o sea, la ciudadanía confía en ellos porque son las personas que aparentemente nos protegen contra todo, ¿no? Entonces, tratar de encontrarlos en situaciones así embarazosas y es degradante, es la verdad. Da vergüenza decirlo.
Puya.
Si tú quieres mandar un mensaje para la comunidad de cómo hacen para contactarse con ustedes, por si saben de dónde se presencia abuso policial y ustedes tal vez no lo saben, ¿cómo harían para...?
Bueno, lo que nosotros estamos tratando ahora es, el proyecto es entrenar grupos que quieran ir y hacer este tipo de trabajo. Tenemos un video que nosotros estamos ahora en el proceso de acabando, que ya pronto en los próximos 3-4 meses va a estar acabado, que va a ser un video que es por un entrenamiento, para que tú veas cómo ya nosotros logramos con muchas cámaras documentar y parar la policía. Nosotros hemos documentado ya la policía dándole a unas menores, unas nenas. Tú sabes, el día de la parada puertorriqueña en Brooklyn, tú sabes, los boricuas salen a la calle, quieren disfrutar, tú sabes, nenes, viejas, de todas clases, tú sabes, la comunidad sale y van para allá con sus banderas, orgullosos, y la policía viene y no sabe cómo. Ellos quieren controlarlo, pararlo. Ellos en el día de St. Patrick's Day, tú ves todos esos policías Irish y los bomberos por ahí caminando borrachos en la calle, gritando, pero si nosotros, tú sabes, eso es como, eso no es nada malo, que uno quiera gozar, pero digo que es una... Ellos de una, tú sabes, nos tratan a nosotros, gente de color, gente latina, de una manera diferente como ellos mismos quieren ser tratados. Bueno, y lo que queremos hacer es ayudar a la gente y cómo entrenarse, y se pueden comunicarse conmigo. El email mío es bosefod@hotmail.com y mi número de teléfono es el 917-645-6542. Ese es un cell phone que nosotros recibimos ahí, tú sabes, mensajes, voicemail, que ahí se nos puede comunicar, y si están interesados, tú sabes, nosotros hacemos un intercambio en que, tú sabes, aprendemos de cada uno.
Espero que quienes estén presenciando tipo de situaciones así, pues contacten ese número, visiten la página, que tenemos que unirnos para trabajar contra eso, ¿ok? Vale. Muchísimas gracias, Denis, por tenernos aquí y tenerte aquí y apoyarnos y todo eso, y entonces esperamos que en un futuro pues las cosas estén mejor.
Para eso estamos.
Muchísimas gracias, encantada. Un placer, queridos televidentes, nos veremos en unos cuantos segunditos. Yo les traeré más personas para entrevistar, ¿ok? Chao, chao.
And this is the second floor, and this is our literature area. We have thousands of people come in here every week to look for literature. We have magazines, our kind of weekly HX Go.
Who doesn't know any of this stuff?
Right, exactly.
The Bible.
and Gay City News and the New York Blade. And then also various groups come here and they put out their programs and brochures for upcoming events, special interest groups, and people are here constantly picking up literature to see what's going on in the community.
I mean, this is really good for people who maybe are not openly gay, or they're still trying to sort of learn more about themselves, and this is, you know, you can do it in privacy.
You can kind of come in here and pick up a few things and take it home and see what's going on.
Find the next party, that's what I do.
Exactly. Okay.
This place is huge.
Yeah.
Now, can we talk about Sage? This is really interesting. I was reading some stuff downstairs.
Sage is an organization that's been around since before the center was actually in existence, and they currently rent space here from the center, and it's the Services and Advocacy for Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Elders. And they have a drop-in center down on the first floor, which is the hours are posted down there, and then they have offices here where they administer the programs and services.
Yeah, so you're really catered to the entire community.
The entire community, I mean, from 13 years to...
Right. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
And down here we have, this is our cyber center, the David Bunnett Cyber Center, and in here we have computer stations where people can go online, they can use Microsoft Word, whatever they need to do. And it's just a low-cost alternative to like Kinko's or something like that, so people can come in and use the computers.
What do you
and
charge?
It's very inexpensive. I don't know.
We'll cut that part out.
Right.
You know, also I'm noticing this place is also a gallery because everywhere I look, you have a lot of artwork and
yes, there's always just about every few months there's a new installation put in. And this room here is our gallery, and we have our more expensive artwork.
Right.
It's locked up in there. But if we go up to the third floor, there's some artwork along the walls in the hallway that we can take a look at.
All right. So we're gonna head back upstairs to the party and see what else they have going on upstairs. All right.
Nos encontramos con una de las últimas personas que creo que vamos a entrevistar esta noche. Podría decir, vamos a cerrar con broche de oro, ¿no? Él fue una de las personas que actuó, hizo una especie de drama y de lo cual él nos hablará ahora mismo, que tiene que ver por supuesto con la violencia o el abuso policial contra nuestra comunidad en toda la ciudad de Nueva York. Welcome to Fruta Television. This is Giovanna, and we want to thanks to be here with us. And we want you to share your experience. I mean, we already know what you were doing today. Like you were performing, it was nice. But if you want to talk a little bit of that, you can do it. And then I want you to express yourself through the cameras.
Thank you for having us. For one, I'd like to say that Picture the Homeless is a non-profit organization that deal with civil rights, human rights, and we also deal with disobedience on trying to change the, not so much law, but policy. We try to change up of how people are being treated. One of the main things that we're working on, like I had spoke upon earlier when we did our skit, is our Potter's Field Committee, which is giving dignity to poor and homeless people. No one should have to be buried in a mass grave and not be able to have their friends and family come and visit them. That's one of the campaigns we're working on. Our other campaign is not so much about shelter. It's called the Shelter Committee, but we don't want more shelters. We want more housing instead, because you have shelters here that are established already, but that's not what people need. They need affordable housing, and that's one of the main things we fight for. Our other committee is civil rights. Everyone needs to know their civil rights that they have, and a lot of people are not fortunate enough to know what their civil rights are. As far as a homeless person has the right to vote. A lot of homeless people do not know that. You could be living in the park and still have that right to vote. You can put that down as your address, and that is considered a legal address. Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, plenty. But that was really clear. You know, this is like a program like we learn, and that was something that I didn't know. What you just said, the right for the homeless. Oh, that was nice. What was your what you just performed in the event tonight?
Oh, that came along because we had an event a couple of years ago, and we wanted to show how homeless people were being abused. So we came together putting skits together and expressing ourselves on how we prefer to be treated and how we were being treated. And we wanted to make change in that. That's how we came along with the Picture of the Homeless Theater Group.
Yeah, that was really real, very clear, and that was cool. And how your organization is like, how long you been?
We were established in 1999. Our founder, who is passed on, one of them that's one of the reasons we started Pottersville. His name is Louis Higgins. He was buried out in Pottersville. Our other co-founder name is Anthony Williams. The reason they started this organization was because at this point of time in 1999, you had Mayor Giuliani, who was the mayor. A woman got hit by the name of Nicole Barrett with a brick. Nicole Barrett was hit upside the head, and the first thing Mayor Giuliani said was, "Get those crazies off the street," speaking upon homeless people.
Wow.
Just because I'm homeless does not make me to be crazy, okay? Come to find out, the person that hit Nicole Barrett was not homeless, okay? He was a person who had been in a mental institution, and he was let go. So, you know, for one, what the mayor was doing was he was going to the shelters, gathering up the men off the streets and in the shelters, and having them put in front so this woman can identify to see who was her victim, who was the person who hit her. But the problem was, it was no one that was homeless.
Wow.
So the co-founder decided that, you know, since you're going to harass homeless people like that, we're going to fight back. And they started the organization called Picture of the Homeless. And that gave us the voice that we have now.
Wow, that is located in Brooklyn?
It's located in Manhattan. It's East Harlem. We're 170 East 116th Street. We also have a website. We also have a website that people can go to and check us out. It's www.picturethehomeless.org. We have just got the website up and running. It's been up under construction for over a year. We're very proud of our website right now, and you know, we're always interested to go and perform for people. Only thing you have to do is give us an email, and we'll be more than glad to come and perform, to show and talk to people.
Wow. So on behalf of Fruta Extrana Television, we really want to congratulate you, give thanks for what you're doing right now and you've been doing all this time. And that is really, you know, lovable. And I'm happy to see you right here and to meet you. And we want you to visit us too in the Bronx too. All right?
I'll be more than glad to.
If you want to send any message to the audience, you can do it through the camera right now.
Only message I have for the camera is keep the fight alive. Keep fighting. We must have a voice. Homeless people are not to be neglected. We're not to be swept up under the rug. We are here. We're not going nowhere. With that, I'd like to say thank you.
Wow, thank you. Queridos televidentes, nos volvemos a ver en un segundito. Chao, chao.
So now here you have another gallery of a major artist, Ron Suha, right?
Ron Suha.
Okay, and this is all his own sketch work and...
Right, we have a reception when the installation is first put in, and people can come and enjoy an evening of wine and get to know a little bit about the artist and the work. And then this will stay up for a couple of months, and actually it's all for sale as well. As you can see, we have the name of the painting as well as a price, so people can come here and purchase it if they like it.
Bringing up art, what do you do? You know, how does an emerging artist want to show their work here? If they wanted to do that, could they do that?
Absolutely. I mean, we have a director of cultural programs, and he's responsible for all of the cultural programs, all the art exhibits. We have a queer book club and a bunch of other things. We have bingo and we have dances.
And you have a singing group or?
Yeah, we have a youth pride chorus, which is part of the youth program downstairs. and they are, it used to be called the Gay Men's Chorus, but they have a new name now, the Big Apple Chorus.
Okay.
And they work with the Big Apple Chorus, and they've done a show at Carnegie Hall, and it's a reputable group.
Okay, so if you think you can sing, you should come by, join the group. If not, we'll drown you out with someone with a bigger voice. But all right, so now we're back upstairs where we're going to see the rest of the events. I'm going to thank Anthony Ramos for showing us around. There's a lot of information you can come and check out. Can you give us one more time information how to find out more about the center?
Go to the website www.gaycenter.org or drop by. We're on 13th Street between 7th and 8th Avenues.
All right, so we're going to go inside, maybe see what else is going on, and we'll see you soon, all right?
Thank you. Enjoy.
So it was over here, right?
Yeah.
Queridos televidentes, esto ha sido todo por esta noche. Espero que hayan disfrutado, al mismo tiempo hayan aprendido, porque esta es cuestión de educación, es cuestión de que nos unamos, de que haya más acercamiento con la comunidad y con todo este tipo de organizaciones individuales y colectivas que se encontraron presentes esta noche. Espero que esto sirva de moraleja, como decimos en el lenguaje popular, para aprender de ellos, y por favor manténganse unidos, manténganse pendientes de nuestro programa, que aquí le traemos de todas las variedades. Muchísimas gracias y les quiero mucho. Giovanna Castillo, hasta la próxima. Chao, chao, bye bye.